Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and you're watching this video, I assume, because you've watched me perform my newest song called Wi-Fi in My Coffin, which if you haven't seen me perform that song, I'll make it easy. There's a link in the description of the video. It takes you right there. You can watch me perform this song. Then I'm now going to explain what was my inspiration for writing it, and I suppose somewhat from an Enneagram perspective, since that's the overall theme of this channel. The song again, Wi-Fi in My Coffin. Man, I wrote this song almost exactly 3 months ago. Sometimes I can write a song and then the very next day record it. And then other times I have to write and rewrite and practice. Now this song technically is a pretty involved song to sing and play at the same time. There's a lot of stuff going on in this. And there's a lot of words to this. But I wanted to write this song. I wanted it to be a bit of a parody about culture, but then I also wanted it to actually have meaning and be funny at the same time. So I wanted to sort of balance that. I wanted to have meaning, I wanted to have commentary of life, and you can see from the Enneagram perspective, me being a 6, a counterphobic 6, I think what inspired me originally was I want to write a song, confronting our collective fears about death, but I'm writing this ultimately through the perspective of a person who is an Enneagram 7, someone who's trying to outrun their pain and anxiety. So that was the perspective. So written by a counterphobic 6, but imagining the character as a 7. There we go. Book me a U-Haul to pull behind the hearse. I need my essentials when I'm buried in the dirt. Don't forget my selfie stick for my podcast and my Instagram. Got to get my followers the updates wherever I am. So that opening line was inspired by growing up in church and hearing, the preacher would start out a sermon by saying something like, it's funny, you never see a hearse being pulled behind, a hearse pulling behind a U-Haul on the funeral procession, or whatever it says. It's a joke, and you'd hear it every couple of years. So I was like, I want to write a song about that. But then also, I had watched on YouTube, I guess it was like an honest commercial about funerals, talking about how you're just throwing your money into the dirt with caskets, and then it even said, would you like Wi-Fi in your casket? So I combined those ideas to get the opening line and the concept of the song. And the chorus is just a simple refrain. It's, give me Wi-Fi in my coffin. When I die, I still ain't stopping. So again, a concept of an Enneagram 7 who's clearly not coming to terms with what death actually is, that they will cease to be doing anything once they're dead. But here they are like, oh yeah, when I'm buried in the casket here, it has Wi-Fi, I need to keep staying busy, I need to stay updated. So that's obviously the humor in this and the paradox about this character. The second verse, I want a fancy casket, bells and whistles and gold, then bury all my money with me below. So much for FOMO, I don't know what I'd do if I was detached from all the action that I'm plugged into. And then a third verse. I usually don't write a third verse for a song, but this one, I had more to say. Make sure my funeral gets 5-star reviews. Include a salad bar and karaoke too. Maybe get some board games and even a water slide. I'm thinking a bounce house, and of course we can't forget pony rides. I will say that part of that was inspired by UHF, a movie that Weird Al made back in 1989. Not the new one he came out with, but one when I was a kid, where they have, I think, a deleted scene on the DVD talking about, come down to the, it's like a fake commercial for a funeral parlor, and they were advertising free salad bar. So I've just collected these ideas and put them into one song. But by the third verse, this character is wanting to at least still feel relevant in their own funeral that they're trying to plan. And then it actually ends with sort of a fade out verse. You could technically call this a bridge or verse 4. It was kind of almost like a rap where it says, I just don't like the feeling of being so weighed down. Got to keep things moving. That's what I'm all about. I've got places to go, people to see, so don't try and hold me down, man. Just keep this party flowing free, which again, complete denial about what death is. So there's my song. Hopefully it turned out the way that I wanted it to. Again, that it's commentary about someone who is trying to outrun their fears or anxiety and not face what's inevitable, and making the most of life while you still are alive, because once you die, then time's up and you don't have chances to do all this. So I hope you can appreciate that. I'm finally relieved to release this to the world because I feel like this is one of the more challenging songs I've written here recently. Again, not only from a technical perspective, because I was all up and down the neck doing power chords and regular chords, and there was a lot of words, but again, I didn't want this to simply be a joke. I wanted it to have enough grounded meaning to balance out the joke of it. Your comments belong right here.